In the early 1900s, the great and good at the Paris Opera buried an urn full of living voices, gramophone recordings of famous opera stars, to be disinterred after a century. When those urns were opened, mysterious recordings, similar to experiments done by Alexander Graham Bell at the Volta Laboratories in Washington, D.C. in 1881, were discovered. Who made them, and why? And who wrote the haunting music captured on this piano roll from the early 1900s?
This podcast will investigate the mysterious happenings and turn of the 20th century Paris at one of its most popular cultural institutions, the Paris Opera, now the Palais Garnier. I'm Phil Donan, and with my colleague...
We're going to use research, sound recording playback technology, and good old-fashioned detective work to try to find you the answers. Spooky.
Yeah.
Be wary of the shadows that move as your head turns, and watch out for the music that burns.
This was the curse that Simeon Entwistle,
the silent film specialist,
shared with us last time, which is supposedly attached to Das Phantom der Oper,
the lost 1916 film, which may or may not be a documentary, but probably a fictional feature film, and is based on an interview that journalist Gaston Leroux made with, it would seem,
the Daroge of Mazandaran, the Persian chief of police, who may be the voice, along with our mysterious dude, Eric, on the experimental recordings mentioned in our lovely opening sequence.
Ooh, is your head spinning? That is a lot to take in.
Well, prepare yourself, and all you out there listening, prepare yourselves. Since the last episode, we had an email.
Hello. My name is Dustin Jackson. I've been listening to the Shattered podcast since, I think, the second
episode, yeah.
And you are?
I'm Danny Jubilee.
That's Danny.
Hi.
Hi.
I own an antique shop.
So good, they named it twice.
What is?
That's the name of the antique shop. Come visit us in Chicago sometime. Anyway, what came into my possession was a collection of mainly rare gramophones with a few phonographs and 3 graphophone recordings.
What are graphophone recordings? Are those like parlophones or phonograms?
No, they're much closer to phonographs.
The Volta Graphophone Company was founded in 1886. Graphophones were used mainly for business dictation.
Danny, are you a historical recording collector?
Oh no, honey. Oh, bless you. I'm a psychic.
A psychic?
I'm the one who got Dustin to listen to the podcast. I could feel those recordings of yours calling to me. Calling to the ones Dustin was going to sell without a second thought.
Look, I have read up on this. Graphophones were used for business dictation, yes, and also for court reporting. Wax cylinders are right there in the original Dracula by Bram Stoker.
Tell them about the box.
There's a set of 3 in a box. Let me read you the label on that box. The Daroge of Mazandaran, 1897. It seems to be an interview. Hey, there's also a note with it.
Dustin and Danny are consulting experts on digitizing those 3 graphophones that Dustin acquired. To his knowledge, they have never been played. Until they decided what to do, they've shared with us the note Dustin mentioned. As it happens, it's in Farsi, in the Persian language, and we're lucky to have a translator from AACL.
That's the Academy of Asian Culture and Languages in London.
To help us out. We'll play you a reading of that in a moment. Along with the note in Farsi, there are what look like architectural drawings of the Palais Garnier.
Where all this started.
Okay. There are architectural drawings of the Palais Garnier, with some notations in French, which are quite hard to read. Their handwriting is terrible. Like a child got a crayon and scrawled with it. There are these little notes in all these different levels of the stage reading, recording horn here, something about hollow bricks and a speaking tube.
Really strange.
We haven't quite figured it out yet. We're going to leave you with a translation of that note in Persian script. There's no date and no signature.
These were among my master's effects, which he brought with him from Paris after the tragedy at the opera, and which I bring with me in my retirement in the United States of America. They escaped the grasp of our unknown pursuer, who forgets that my master was also a policeman. They are plans drawn up by Eric, who became fascinated by cylinder sound recording. He wanted to install recording horns secretly in the Paris Opera, in the manager's office, in the scene shifters area, in the foyer de la danse. But the sound quality was too primitive for his liking, so the ghost abandoned his scheme. My master said he was content, for a time, to contemplate his phonoautogram, unique in the world, he said, of the American President Abraham Lincoln. That was, however, before the business with Count Philippe de Chagny that resulted in great tragedy. My master kept these plans because he said they amused him, because he thought Eric would have been appalled at the gramophone and the bringing of opera into people's homes, rather than having to attend live opera.
You've been listening to the Shattered Podcast. Join us next time when we learn more about these graphophones. Enjoy the mystery.
The Shattered Podcast is hosted by Nemo and Dr. Phil Donan, with theme music by Katie Seaton. It is produced by Leslie McMurtry and is a lesser of Two Weevils production 2022.